Welcome back to Half Planned Fully Trying. I am doing a bit of a voiceover today because my mic was not compatible and it was taking forever to arrive, the new one. So we are catching up with and getting organized for the week of June 29th to July 5th here, and I'm going to start with my weekly actions. I pulled out my reference sheet. I have some tasks, goals, actions that are recurring each week, so I kind of slapped them onto a post-it note and color coded them so that I could just refer to them weekly without having to think about it. I like to automate as much as I can, so I'm just transferring a couple things here from my weekly list onto my weekly actions for the week. So I have this reference page with things to remember and a little post-it note with the weekly actions that are repeating. So things like wash my hair twice a week is a new habit. I used to just wash it once a week, so twice is new. I like to do my planner check-ins and weekly reflections, of course. Watch a Club Moxie video, whether that's a replay or catching it live, which is my favorite, but it doesn't always happen, unfortunately. Um, Things like this that I know are always supporting my annual goals, my recurring goals. I go ahead and put on here from that sheet. Things like jujitsu and swimming laps, drinking my water, taking my vitamins, making sure that I'm connecting with my son and my mom. Putting away my laundry is a new fun one that I used to never struggle with, but I am now. So I just put these down. I put dots so that I can do some tracking here. You can see my YMCA visits. I put some tracking dots there. And this was a catch up. So I already knew that I had some of these done and was like pre checking them off. So, that's fun. Spoiler alert. Trying to get a little caught up here, which happens, right? We are always plan ish. We are always trying. We are always showing up. So I had a little temporary sticky here under Fun and Rec to go to Hershey Park that week, and I was just filling those in real quick. They normally live in my monthly goals area, so I can refer to them each week, each month. And then I remembered I needed to go through the actual things to remember and not just my little shortcuts. So I check each area of life. I used my annual goals, quarterly goals, recurring goals to create this cheat sheet for myself. It's my attempt to remember what I want to say yes to so that I am putting those things on the forefront of my mind and not missing the things that are important to me, that support my goals, that support me as a human being. And I gotta say, I'm not even anywhere to close to doing fully well at it, but I'm trying. That's the whole point. I probably will be editing this list soon. You can see I have some edits on it where I've stuck in some different colors and made some different edits where I want to move one task to another category or area of life, or I need to add things, subtract things, clarify things. So that more of yes list is going to be a work in progress. It does take some time here to review and to consider and to contemplate what I do and don't want to pull or can pull into each of my weeks. Again, this was a catch up. So as I'm looking through, I'm like, what can I do? What do I need to do? And I realized that I had not taken my vitamins for the day. So I went ahead and pulled them out right then and there, pulled my vitamins for the day, and made sure that I took them so I could check that off for the day. Sometimes that's how it goes. As we're writing things down or need to check things down under the wire, we just go ahead and take action on it right away. And I'm also trying to stay hydrated. As you can see, I have this water bottle from our trip to Moab in Utah. We went on a whitewater rafting trip, which was incredible. And I usually have liquid IV or Gatorade or something in that. That's my electrolytes kind of bottle. So I got my vitamins in that day for sure. Which is why planner check-ins are so good, to make sure you don't let little things slip through the cracks. And that reminded me I needed to fill in a couple things on my monthly budget page. Here, I might track different random expenses that I have that are coming up so I can make sure that I plan them into my budget or plan them into my weeks and nothing sneaks up on me. So I have a hair color correction appointment on the 22nd, and I have blood work and an appointment for my thyroid that are due this month as well. So those are going to be kind of stand out expenses. I want to make sure that I'm not forgetting. So if I put them in my monthly, then I can break them down into my weekly and hopefully stay on track if I pay attention to my planner. Time to add a little color here and put in my dot trackers for the week and just go ahead and finalize this spread, make it look pretty and polished and ready to check in with throughout the week. Of course, it wasn't really throughout the week. I was catching up, but look, that's none of my business. We're just getting it done. Done is done, late or otherwise, and we're not stressing about it. Now that we've filled in our weekly actions for the week, and we are recording on the 3rd, so that would have been Friday of this month, I am filling in my actual weekly spread. So I cheat sheet from my previous week to fill in my trackers so that the formatting is the same each time. I track my screen time, my sleep score, my resting heart rate, and my average daily steps from each week. And I also cheat sheet my breakdowns of my AM, PM, little notes, thoughts, reflections of each day section where I might highlight gratitude or something eventful that day or something that really contributed to my goals or just something notable for that day. And so I do my little breakdown. I'm just counting how many lines I typically put for each of those because I can never remember. I started this system of kind of breaking down the vertical columns into time slots probably in April, I want to say. And I've really liked that, but I still can't remember what's what, especially for this school year. My allocations of space was different. And I like to stick in some washi to separate the day from my reflections and from my meal planning section down at the bottom. I'm just trying to figure out what color of washi I want to use. I match it to the rotating areas of life. So this week was orange. I'm debating, do I want to do orange, orange, tan orange, thin orange with my little washi collection here. I've separated my spaces, indicated the weekend, added a little color to my tracking on the sidebar, and now I'm filling in the dinners that I knew we ate because I'm doing this on Friday, July 3rd that week. That is right. I told you it was a catch up. It is. It just goes that way some weeks. And I stick this, it's the perfect height for this time of year. I have a hiking logbook that just gives me an extra like half inch underneath the left side of my planner so that I'm not as sloppy a writer on the Thursday column. I don't know how everyone else writes over top of the coils. I struggle. I also struggle on the end, like on the sidebar, like where the tracking stuff is. I get so sloppy there. I struggle. So I stick that book under there. It gives me a little height, and I can fill in some of my reflections there in that section at the bottom. So that day I went to bed early. I was absolutely exhausted and crashed to get some sleep. So I might put if I had a headache or something really amazing that happened that day, something that really helped me get closer to my goals for that day. That's my little reflection section there. Now I'm getting into the practical part of planning where I'm actually putting the events and plans. I do like to do some type of division visually to separate the weekday from the weekend because those do look a little different. Those are structured a little differently. I don't break them down into AM and PM so cleanly. Sometimes there are many plans on Saturday and Sunday that run all the way down to the meal planning box at the bottom. So I do like to give a little separation to that. This is where I differentiate my AM and my PM plans. I have always preferred a horizontal planner. Actually, that's sort of true, sort of not true. I've alternated, I think every year I've had Makselife. I think I've alternated back and forth just for something different. Nothing really felt right. I am a very wordy person. I like to take notes. I like to journal kind of ish. I err on that side of my planning habits. So I've always felt like horizontal was right, but I never knew what to do with all of the space. And this year I tried vertical again. I feel like it's really been the right fit. I really think that structuring my plans each day into AM and PM has helped me stay on track because I have 4 humans and 3 dogs to manage. We have school, volunteer, work, exercise, friends, 100 plans. So having a practical space to do my planning and being able to split it very visually and clearly into kind of first thing in the morning, middle of the day, evening plans has been really helpful. I love that. And then separating that section at the bottom for reflections, thoughts, notes, whatever I want it to be has been really good. So I have the AM and the PM kind of during the day, and then I use that line that I draw in with the color myself to differentiate the PM. So basically anything after 5 p.m. during the week goes under that dotted line or whatever I do, dashed line with the marker. And that helps me kind of see what I have to do during the day or in the morning and then in the evenings so I don't let anything slip by. I've really been enjoying the vertical planner this year. I think I've found what works for me finally after sort of mucking through it for the past like 5 years or whatever it's been. And that still gives me some space there to do a little journaling at the bottom if I feel like it, or sometimes I use my reflection space for a little bit of longer writing if I feel like it. So I've got my days kind of filled in here a little bit. Monday was a really rough day. As you can see, had a bit of a fuck it day. A lot of attitude that day. Just trying to get through some bad news, some frustrating people. I have my morning YMCA visits put in. We had dinner with friends Monday evening, which was really nice. I had a haircut Tuesday night, which was lovely. Wednesday, I spent a long time in the kitchen doing dinner. I made pancakes, bacon. I made eggs Benedict for the first time. I had never poached an egg. I had no faith that that was going to work out for me whatsoever. I just Googled it and winged it, jumped right in, and it worked. The eggs Benedict sauce I made, the hollandaise sauce, I used a sauce packet. It was atrocious. Hated, don't recommend. Skip that. I love McCormick so much, but they really dropped the ball on the hollandaise sauce. So I will be trying that from scratch next time, which is even more intimidating. But I feel like now that I know I can poach an egg, I can make the sauce. One step at a time. So whenever I feel like doing that again, I know I can poach the egg at least. So we'll give the sauce a go. We had an insane heat event this week, and James actually had to run back to work Thursday night, so the rest of us had a really quiet night. And then filling in a little bit of Friday here, we went to visit James's mom, and everyone got to drive the new go-kart that James had bought secondhand, which was a super cool find and a lot of fun. And we got to do some pool swimming, which was really cool. And at this point, I'm actually done with all of my updates for this, adding my dots in to add some clarity to the different events. And Glacier is super interested to say hello and see what I'm up to. Okay, you're getting me live today. Welcome back to Half Planned Fully Trying. We are catching up. It is Monday the 6th. So we're going to fill in everything that happened here and do our reflections and wrap up this week together. I have some sloppy, just behind the scenes, handwritten sloppy notes real quick because I am talking to you through my phone, which is where all my information is. So when I need to know certain things or remember certain things or check on these numbers, I just jot them down on scrap when I am recording. So let's fill in these first and just get some flow started here. I am not exactly in this headspace yet, so let's start with some easy stuff and get into it. I forgot the screen time. I looked and it fell right out of my head. I think it was like 40 hours. I think I'm going to put 40. I was doing some shopping, reading, research on my phone last week, so my screen time is a lot higher, but I know that I was doing it intentionally, so I'm fine with it. All right, sleep score was a 68 average last week, and so was my resting heart rate. And my steps were an average of 4,468. I am on a step goal streak right now of 3 days, so I want to keep that going today. So I'm hoping to get a walk in later. I lay these dot markers down when I'm not using them, so that they lay horizontal and don't get super duper juicy down on the dot side. I found that really helps keep the ink at like a reasonable level when I go to use them. All right, so what we do for this here is compare to last week. I have special red and green markers to show if my stats improved or did not. All right, so let's prep these two and then compare to last week. All right, last week I was in the mountains a lot, so my screen time was phenomenal. And 40 hours is a lot for me, so that clearly went up. My sleep score did increase. My resting heart rate did decrease. Those are both going to be green. And my steps went down. Again, that's to be expected. I was away in the mountains most of the week. So that means I was pretty active, not trapped on my laptop working in a stationary position. So, all right, my sleep score increased. My heart rate decreased. That's great. What was my heart rate before that? Resting heart rate 69. Resting heart rate 68. 70. Ugh. All right. Well, it hasn't been very good, although I sort of expected that. I started thyroid medication again several weeks ago, and I figured that one of the side effects was going to be that my resting heart rate increased a little bit on average. So we'll see how that goes. I also need to take my temperature the next few days. So I'll have it for my doctor. I'm supposed to do a follow-up this week. But resting heart rate of 68 isn't the worst I've ever been, so we'll take it. let's go ahead and fill in Saturday and Sunday. They did not work out as expected. Of course, does anything work out as expected these days? Saturday, we chose not to go to the Y because I went and picked up my mom earlier than I thought I was going to, which is fine. Like I said, we made the choice, we adapted, no big deal. I will go to Hershey Park this month twice. I will. I am frustrated, furious that I haven't made it yet. Um, every time I've made plans to go, something has come up. So we're looking at this week. James is out of town. Maybe the 12th. I don't know. I'll keep looking. Let's just keep sticking it down. We'll figure it out. So, no Y, no Hershey. What we did end up doing is Saturday I picked up my mom at, well, I left the house at 9 a.m. We use her car when I get there because it's easier for her to get in and out of, and it needs just to be run. And it's a good way to make sure that somebody is checking on it frequently. It was really being neglected before, so this is like a good way to do both. I hate writing over correction tape, but I left an hour early so I could make sure the air were in the tires. I knew it needed to be filled up with windshield wiper fluid and just looked over a little bit and cooled off. And I wanted to make sure if she needed any help getting ready, that I was early enough. So I told her 11, but I got there at 10. And I'm glad I did because she had fallen and was stuck on the floor for several hours um, before I got there, which was scary and stressful, but she's okay. Um, so I'm gonna write, my mom had fallen. But like I said, she was all right. We got her up. She and I together, got her up and got some breakfast and some water, and we still made it to 4th of July. So 4th of July at James's mom's. From, let's say it was 2 by the time we made it there, to 7, I want to say we left. That's safe. My mom to bed at 9:30, home to hang. I usually write his name out, but we are running out of space. So that was my day. It was a long one, especially because James's alarms woke me up at 7:30. I think I thought I was going to get to sleep until 8, and I did not. Um, use my yawn right now. And then we stayed up till 2 in the morning, which is why I did not make it until or to Hershey Park the next day. And it was a horrific storm Saturday night. I don't know if you live in the mid-Atlantic area, but it was torrential and extreme and wildly probably unsafe, but we did the best we could and it worked out. There were like whole trees falling on 95 in the rightmost lane, and visibility was almost zero. I was really stuck in a place where I wasn't gonna sit on the side of the road and wait to get hit by a car with no visibility. So we made it slow and steady. Everyone was really responsible, and it was okay. Sunday, I got up around 10, I think. I did sleep in a little bit. I got out of bed at 10, actually. I was up at 9:30, 8:30. Still slept in a little bit. So, and then I took my son to his friends, and I put away Two loads of laundry. That's not like me in general, historically. I've been very good about putting my laundry away for many years now. And this past like 9 months or so, 6 months for sure, I have been so bad about this habit and I hate it. I hate having my laundry sitting around. I hate having a pile of dirty laundry that should go in my empty hamper. But I got um, 2 loads, 2 weeks worth of laundry put away and out of piles, thank goodness. Some decluttering, bed washed, and evening swim, which was really relaxing and I needed it. It was just 4 or 5 of us, and the water temperature was so warm from how hot it was this week. And it was just really, really low key and fun. And I super needed it, and it was lovely. As usual, I was interrupted. So let's get back into the flow. I was doing pretty well there for a second. Okay. That kind of fills in this week. Dinner Friday night. I don't remember. Oh, we did Wawa at the pool. That was nice. And then like barbecue for the 4th. And then last night we did Domino's pizza at my mom's. And I did not even thank her for dinner, which I feel terrible about. I completely forgot. Slap on the wrist for me. It was nice. It's always nice when she gets everyone together. That's James's mom. That's how I write my mom. His mom is MM in my planner, and my mom is written out. James's mom has abbreviated their mom MM in the past, so I just kind of picked up that habit. Okay, I did get my hair washed on Tuesday because I had a haircut, so cheating, but it got done. And then I did wash it on Sunday. I started using, I don't remember what it's called, but a dandruff shampoo. I have never in my life really struggled with dandruff that badly. I thought maybe it was because my thyroid was off, that I was having like some dryness, and I've been on those meds for 6 weeks now and it wasn't improved at all. So I did a long treatment, and so far today, since yesterday, I haven't noticed any, so we will see. I did shave my legs, forgot to self tan, didn't forget so much as got to bed at like an insane time Friday and Saturday. And I've been loving the Finch app. So let's cross off. When I don't do something, I used to put little tiny X's, but that really wasn't enough for me to see, obviously, what I did and didn't get done. So I started this method, and then it's really easy to see what I missed or what gets missed over and over, maybe, or just trends in general. Oh, we watched the new Enola Holmes on Friday. That's why I got to bed late. We really enjoyed it. Even my son stayed and watched it. He doesn't always like the movies we all watch, but all 4 of us enjoyed it, so that was really cool. I love when that works out. Hershey did not happen. I'm just gonna every weekend. Every weekend I'm gonna try. I don't know what's happening. Every single time something has come up, or I was sick the one time, or I don't know. Some of it's fine. We have to adapt, but it's getting ridiculous. I really dropped the ball on vitamins last week. I did it twice. I have been good about drinking my water though. I'm gonna give myself credit for the YMCA visits. Didn't make the 4th one, therefore didn't get to swim laps because that was the intent of the 4th one. I've swim laps once since March. I had I was sick, and then I had a horrific reaction to poison ivy in April. Like my leg still itches. I was just scratching it. I know I'm not supposed to, but I still have a spot that itches and has not healed all the way, and I'm using scar tape on my other leg because it was so deep and damaging. So dealing with that rash and all the wound care, I didn't make it to jujitsu or pool, the pool to swim laps. And now it's just trying to get back in the routine of it, and just different things have come up over the last few weeks since it did finally um, heal up enough to be able to safely go swimming or go to jujitsu. So I'm just gonna leave that unchecked. It is what it is. I thought about using correction tape to wait it out, but whatever. All right, family time, pool on Friday, and watched Enola Holmes. This ink is coming out so smoothly right now, but I've really had problems with it skipping lately. I don't know what that's about. I've been using the same ink for years and it's always come out beautifully. Like you can see it was skipping when I wrote this. I don't know if I need to store it upright. I don't know. All right, I called her and visited her. I called her twice actually and visited her. I put away my laundry, continue with caution. I still need to do my budget for July. So that did not get done, although I stayed on budget. So I guess that's fine. That's all that really means. I only get paid twice a month. So I usually do my budget around that time. I'll actually officially do my budget, but I'm always checking in on it to make sure I'm staying on budget. So I did my check ins this past week to stay careful with my spending. This did not get done. And he was real sassy about how it wasn't going to get done last week. And I got mad and I was like, you don't know that. Well, he was right and I was wrong. So that really needs to be a priority this week. I did watch some decluttering videos, which was cool because I learned like a new mindset. And maybe everyone knows this. I don't know. It was the first time it was explained to me in this way. Normally, when I approach decluttering, it's like, what don't I use? What don't I wear? What doesn't fit? What don't I love wearing? If I put this on and I don't like it, if I'm pulling at it, tugging at it, doesn't match anything else, can't find an outfit for it, it leaves my closet. If same with kitchen, same with a lot of areas. Like if I haven't used it, can't use it, something's wrong with it every time I use it, I can use something else in place of it, it leaves, which is fine, but I've reached a point at which I need to push through more layers of decluttering. And I heard in this video someone mention to declutter backwards. So instead, and she used clothes in a closet as an example, instead, you take everything you have and you start selecting things that you love and then things that you need that still aren't in the category of don't like, doesn't fit, itchy, whatever. Like things that have no conflict or problem or cons to them, but that you need. And then everything else that you didn't choose can go. I didn't quite like pull everything out or anything, but as I was going through my laundry, putting things away, I'm always looking in the scope of like, do I need this? Can it go to the donation bin? And it did help me pull a couple things out, even though all I was doing was putting away my laundry. I didn't intentionally, I mean, I'm always intentionally decluttering, but I wasn't doing some major like rip my whole closet apart project. It was just like, as I was putting away my laundry, taking a few minutes to kind of consider a couple things as I saw them. So that was a really cool mentality, like decluttering backwards. What do I absolutely love? What do I use all of the time? Put those aside, keep those for sure. And then out of everything else, can it just go? Or are there a few things I need that like I don't love, but like yes, a layering item is practical. Yes, I don't know. There are some things that we still like need to fill in our wardrobes in order to function that we don't maybe absolutely love, but you get it. I've repeated myself twice. That's what I do. Over explain. All right, so planner check-ins. I did a couple. I could have probably done more, but that's okay. We are catching up. It's not always perfect. It's half planned, fully trying. We just keep showing up. Sometimes we're catching up, and that's okay. I failed at this as well, and Club Moxie has this incredible Moxie Camp theme this summer, so I really need to get engaged again because I'm super excited about everything they have to offer. It's going to be a super fun summer. All right, and then I'm about to do my weekly reflections with you now. All right, so that's my whole. Oh, what did we do together? All right, he went to Parker's and we played in the pool Sunday and drove and chatted Saturday. And obviously, we've been going to the Y together. So that's the list. I have seen some people doing really cute things over here, and I love that for them. And I will just keep a mental note of the possibility. But since we are in ketchup mode, ketchup sounded like I said, like the red condiment ketchup instead of catch up. We're just gonna go super simple and functional here, like I have been doing. We're not doing anything fancy. I did go to the pool Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That was cool. Um, I enjoyed some music. While I was doing my cleanup yesterday. That was fun. All right, another interruption. Let's get these reflections completed. So, what were my wins from this week? Let's see. I need a pen, not a marker. All right. Wins this week would be haircut and the dandruff shampoo seems to have helped. Almost put 3 O's on there. And I was really worried that it was going to dry out my hair, but it's pretty soft and manageable. So I'm also hoping that getting my scalp healthy again is going to help get some of my hair regrowth goals accomplished. Um, it's gotten a little thinner over the last couple years. So we'll see between the thyroid medicine and scalp treatment if we're going to get that back. I guess we need to check those two off. Oh, and we were doing fun and rec. That's what we were doing. Okay, so I actually created a fun and recreation menu of things. And while I have the goal of looking at it ahead of time, I also want to revisit it and give myself credit for things. All right, I did not do any of those. We did watch an intentional movie, but that's under family. I put the pool. I'm remembering I need to do my nails this week, so I'm going to put a little note for myself. I did sort of splurge. I've been struggling to find, I love wearing dresses and skirts in the summer, especially dresses, because one piece is always more comfortable than two when it's hot. And then you don't have to think about it. Just put on cute shoes and earrings and you're done. You don't have to combine two items. You don't have to worry about tucking it, belting it, blah, blah. So, but I've been really struggling with just a couple good, easygoing. I've been wearing the same two dresses essentially over and over again. Um, and I've been looking secondhand and looking secondhand, and I've really been trying to convert a lot of my clothes to natural materials like cotton and linen, especially for summer. But I have come up short for months now, and I caved and ordered a, a dress from Amazon. It's rayon, but I used to have one just like it, and I really loved it and got a lot of use out of it. So while it's not perfect, it will serve a purpose for at least a couple seasons, I hope. So I did kind of break down just to fill in that hole with something I knew, that hole in my wardrobe was something I knew would work. I was trying to hold out, but it wasn't happening. And we are in the swing of summer and it's kind of limiting me. So that'll be nice to be able to incorporate into my summer wardrobe. But I didn't find any other fun and recreation successes for this week, which is okay. It's fine. It was nice. Um, yeah, I didn't even get Friday off, so I can't even put like time off for the holiday or anything. So, all right, so this is done. Let's do the reflections. The haircut and dandruff shampoo. So glad for that. Working is the Finch app. I've been loving that. I'm on like a 94-day streak since I downloaded it. And it really helps encourage me to do the basics because I'm telling you, I wasn't even like brushing my teeth in the morning. eating breakfast, drinking water, like no basics whatsoever. I would literally just put pants on under my pajama, like t-shirt dress, and throw a hoodie over it most days. Like I was not doing basic levels of self-care, and it has helped pulled me out of that into some just basic normal daily human habits that make me feel a bit more like a person, and I'm thankful for that. So the Finch app is really working. The YMCA visits are working as well. We've been getting some good strength sessions in. I just want to get back in the pool. Some wins. Visit with my mom for the 4th. I'm so glad that even though she had a really difficult morning, that she was okay and she was still up for a visit. I'm really thankful for that. I'm really glad that worked out. So, reviewing here. Vitamins are not working, not doing that. Swimming laps, not doing that. It's a real bummer. And I'm in a situation at this point where no amount of clever budgeting is going to save me. Something has to give. So that's really not working. I'm just pausing to read this and I'm trying not to get like emotional about it. It's just really brought up some stuff for me. Permission is the coaching tip for this week. Consider this a permission slip to say no, to cancel those plans, to put distance between you and the things that don't serve your greater good, to chase that dream, to speak your truth, to be seen, to be heard, to do something for you and only you guilt free. At least this first half, permission to say no, to cancel those plans, to put distance between you and the things that don't serve your greater good. I have something on my agenda coming up later this summer that I really don't want to do. And I'm struggling. I'm really struggling with whether I should say no or not. That just made me pause for a moment. All right, lessons I learned this week. I need to visit my mom every week. Ooh, I don't know what I was writing there. What is this? What is this sloppy? um, I program in some of my life to make sure that I have built in visits to her, but then if those plans fluctuate and flex around, I might miss a week, and it's been a little tricky for the last couple. So I haven't gotten as many visits as I would like. I've missed, I think, 2 in the last 4 weeks. And this past Saturday was just a reminder to me that I'm not willing to let those slip. So even if my plans change, I need to reincorporate a visit to her. That's really important to me, and I'm not willing to miss those. Any other lessons? Just a reminder, I guess, to I have a vacation coming up later this month. And because my budget is so stressed, the amount I thought that I was setting aside for vacation has been eaten the last 2 paychecks. And I only have one more between now and then. So I need to find a way to um, set a little aside so we can have some fun. That might be it's kind of like a light, weird week. Wins, let's say, some decluttering as I was getting back in the flow of that, and that felt really good yesterday. And the YMCA visits are working. And eating breakfast and lunch has been working. I need to get that grocery order in as well. Oh, I put groceries on the list already. See, I'm already forgetting that I remembered already. Okay, so adjustments Wednesday is it? And I have some things to place on sale, like secondhand. Some really nice designer shoes and bags. So I think it's time to do that, and that will help, at least for this month, save my butt with vacation. Sell items, photos, and post. Some of them need like a little touch up, cleaning, a little, conditioning, something simple, but some of them are in perfect, ready to go. I just need to do it. So I'm just gonna say photos and post the easiest items. Hopefully that will buy me some time. Heart. My favorite part of this past week was chatting with my son on the drive Saturday. He was being just really insightful, and we had a great time, and it really helped me relax because I was Saturday was a really heavy day between staying alive driving through that storm and my mom having fallen that morning. It was a lot, worrying about her and worrying about the storm, and we made it through. Okay, well, we are set for this week, and that's where we're going to call it here today. All done for June 29th to July 5th. And I was going to do more, but you know what? I'm getting hungry, and I'm not going to push through that. I'm going to do the right thing and go feed myself. So thanks for checking in with me. Thanks for watching me catch up at a desperate pace here. But done is done, and we got there, and now we're organized for the next week. It's Monday, but I'm fine with Monday's a good day to be ready for the week. So talk to you soon. See you next time.